Hello and welcome to the video on useful links related to UD, which is Universal Design for Learning, Accessibility. So there are two files. One is a Word document and it provides many resources and links to universal design and accessibility that you're free to preview and check them out. The other one is an Excel spreadsheet, so we'll go ahead and open that. So when you're looking at a workbook or worksheets, we have two worksheets in this one workbook. There are certain things that are make something accessible, easy to read, easy to understand. So in order to find out, is this accessible, is it easy to read for people that you're sharing this with, you'll click File, and under info section, there is check for issues, and we're going to check for accessibility. And it says there are no issues. So that's not necessarily true. So we can X out of here. And if there was a screen reader reading this, when it got to this image, which is the arrow pointing to the highest sales rep, if I were to click Shape Format and Alt Text, there's nothing in there telling the screen reader what this image is explaining. So what you would want to do is type in, this is a left arrow highlighting the highest sales representative. So you'd want to have the screen reader, when it comes to this image, not just say an image, to actually say what the image is referring to. So that's for screen reader. So it's important to have the alt text. The other thing, let's say for example, you had the font size really, really small. It's difficult to read. Let's see if it picks up on that. So I'll choose File and Info, Inspect, check accessibility, and again it's saying there's no problems when in fact it is very small font, and I would think that's an issue. So let's put it back to the to size 12. So how about if we did this? We select our table in the format and we choose a different coloring, and then I select the font and I choose a font color. To me, that would be very difficult to read. Let's see if the Inspect accessibility will understand that this is an issue. There it is. That's what you want to do. It's hard to read the content, the text contrast. So that's a good warning for you to realize that you need to check that. So some of the things it does pick up on and some doesn't. But you should be aware that all of your workbooks, worksheets should have proper names, the name of the workbook, as well as the sheets, so that you can find the sheets and they're accessible and everyone understands what's in them. The font size and the shading should be something that is easy to follow along. So that's in Excel. We're going to pop over to Google Sheets. And again, in Google Sheets, you have to find where it is. So it happens to be in extensions, and it's called Grackle. You could learn about it or help if you have questions on it, but I'm going to launch it, and it's working right now. And I'm going to pause. So it's done checking, and it has 9 out of 13. So it shows you here under the sheets, I have sheet 1 and sheet 2. They should have a proper title, more descriptive. So that's a good reminder. Table should have headers, and it may be the coloring that's making this an issue. Merge, so this is a merge. This is just one cell. So if I were to go into Format and unmerge so that they're separate individual cells, that should fix that. Maybe if I change the color of the headers, maybe that will help. And color contrast. So it didn't pick up on the size. Thought it would pick up on the size of the font. So let me change that so that these are larger, because right now it's at size 8, so I'll make these bigger and see what happens. So now I'll recheck. So the color contrast, I'm going to get rid of the shading, and we still need to do the sheet names. So I will rename sheet 1. And then sheet 2. And then I'm going to get rid of the shading to see if that helps. And then I will recheck. So I checked it again, and it seems like I still need to rename my workbook, but everything else seems to be fine, except for the high color contrast should be used. But it's a good thing to check your accessibility on documents that you're going to be sharing with others to make sure that it is easily accessible and others can follow through and not have trouble reading the content or the information. Thank you.